Hello everyone, welcome back to Blackjack. I'm Blackjack Galviani, and I am really excited for this. Funny story, when I was setting up, I turned the music on for Athena in the other room. Dvorak's New World Symphony is sitting right next to it. That's the one, you know, da 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 da. If you've played Asura's Wrath or watched people play it or whatever, you will recognize that piece. So I think that's just a funny aside. Also, I was going to say, I am probably going to cry during this. I already saw, I haven't seen any reactions to this yet, obviously. I haven't watched it, but I already saw Josh Gorcher say he ugly cried during it. So that's going to be fun. Yeah, a lot of Asura's story really gets, yeah. Even though I'm more familiar with Asura, from what I understand, it could theoretically go either way. It depends on how they take some of Kratos's statements, how they take lore versus actual mythology, and etc., etc., etc. But anyway, let's go. Let's go. Yeah!
Kratos versus Asura.
The Ghost of Sparta versus the Wrathful Destructor. Because sometimes you just want to punch a god in the face. He's
Yeah.
Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
Pokemon Legends Arceus is basically wanting to punch a god in the face.
A death battle. In the beginning, the Primordials waged war.
All official material related to characters applied to analysis unless found contradictory to a primary source. Certain alternate media, e.g. B is for boy, and creator statements are only applicable as far as they are supported by the primary source. Okay.
A series of
Makes
cosmic
sense.
clashes that birthed the universe.
Boom! Now that's what I call a big bang.
From Ceto's death, the oceans would flow. From Uranus's strikes, the stars were spawned, and so forth. Thus, the world itself was born from violence.
Nice.
Starting the
That
whole
seems to
mess
be how
cycle,
everything works,
Uranus
huh?
was overthrown by his Titan son, Kronos, who was overthrown by his Olympian son, Zeus, who battled his own son, Kratos.
Yeah.
Classic bastard child.
Okay. Species, part god, part mortal. Isn't that specifically called demigod? Although I know demigod is different when you get into Asura's Wrath, but like as far as real world religious terminology, right? Age 1,000+ years old, height 7'8". Really? Well, okay. Ghost of Sparta, God of War, marked warrior. Likes Atreus, olives, Mimir, his family. Dislikes selfish gods, sliding puzzles, Sackboy, doesn't want to talk about it.
Zeus, Kratos was left among Spartan mortals, far exceeding all among
But what are
them.
his thoughts on
He
Shovel
became a
Knight?
fierce warrior, winning many a battle, until finally cornered by ruthless barbarians.
Ares, destroy these guys who are kicking my ass, and my life is yours. A deal was made, and Kratos was joined at the bone with the Blades of Chaos, a set of chain swords, and basically a badass whirlwind of flame and steel.
But Ares had a scheme.
Yeah, of
doing
course
work
he
for
had a
his god, Kratos accidentally murdered his own family, permanently marked by the ashes of his wife and daughter. He was, forevermore,
It skipped
the
over his
Ghost of
tattoos.
Sparta.
You notice
He
that?
was kinda understandably really pissed off. Time for a new god of war. The gods were crapping their togas in fear as the new god of war took out his rage on all of them. And got some new gear out of it too.
With Poseidon's
Togas would be
Icarus's
Roman,
wings,
though.
Kratos
Chitons would be Greek. Okay. Okay, so it's just a bunch of names. Okay.
dominated both sea
That's
and
fine.
sky.
That's fine.
He also has a tendency to carry powerful severed heads, like
Yeah.
Medusa's.
And the claws of Hades could steal souls, even the soul of Hades himself. Should have thought that one through, man.
Neither Perseus
Yeah.
or Hercules were a
Yeah.
match for Kratos, nor was Helios, the sun god capable of moving stars and spreading light across the entire underworld.
He fought Atlas, the Titan of Strength, who broke the load-bearing pillar of the universe. So
Yeah.
Kratos forced him to hold up the cosmos on his own instead.
And he could do it with just one hand, according to the novelization.
Even his
I'm not
grandpappy
stopping.
Kronos
Not for
failed
that.
to stop him. You know, the guy who overthrew the
Yeah. You notice in the preliminary, in the preview, they didn't read this whole statement. Probably because they get them fucking demonetized, even though that's what happens in the stories.
primordial that punched the universe into existence?
Causing shockwaves that moved over a quadrillion times faster than light, a frankly incomprehensible feat,
Then there's Daddy Zeus.
who proved a serious challenge, until Kratos drew perhaps his ultimate weapon,
Yeah.
the Blade of Olympus.
Ah!
It can make tornadoes, lightning, force fields. Oh, and it can stab the hell out of you. It siphons godly energy and can pull it up to even...
Okay. Kratos regained the Blades of Olympus in God of War Valhalla and was able to summon it afterward. Mimir described it as a memory of your past made manifest.
Kill Zeus.
Awesome.
Like father, like son.
Even while Kratos ultimately released hope across the Greek world, he could only do so after annihilating everything.
Like a badass, he was
Yeah.
unstoppable. Non-stop killing and sex and even more killing. And yet, he couldn't be any more depressed.
His wife
I mean,
and daughter
yeah.
were still gone. What was he to do?
He didn't know. He wandered aimlessly for years, somehow stumbling into Norse mythology where he met Faye, his second wife. Good start, buddy.
Kratos had a new lease on life, but he
Good
could not
boy.
escape his past mistakes.
There's a reason he hid his swords in a dingy basement. Even so, Faye insisted he could do better. So he became a dad to a new boy.
Easily the toughest task he ever undertook, especially after Faye unfortunately died of a mysterious illness.
Damn it, not again! But hey, it wasn't Kratos' fault this time. And Faye left the tools he'd
yeah,
need to
yeah.
keep the boy safe,
No,
including
get,
the
no ads.
Leviathan
No
axe.
ads.
Far from the whirling rage of the blades of
For God's sakes, really? It doesn't.
chaos, the Leviathan
Let me
axe was
just
deliberate.
go
might,
no
said
ads.
to rival Mjolnir itself.
Thor
Oh, wow.
wishes Mjolnir was as cool as this axe. It's imbued with ice magic and a poison even the gods fear. It can
Wow.
be summoned to Kratos' hand from a distance, and it even shatters souls.
Kratos may have once been a sword of vengeance, but with his new weapons and a new purpose, he stood as a shield against the godly Aesir.
Too
Cool.
bad he just can't help but get in trouble with gods.
Yeah,
But now
yeah.
he knew how to control his anger.
And that was
Which
during
is
Faye's
even
funeral,
more
too.
important than it sounds. Kratos' Spartan rage summons an inner strength with magical properties.
He can even get so pissed off that he straight up heals
Rage
himself.
Fury
That
replaced
seems like
by
the opposite of
Valor.
what should happen.
Not
Yeah.
all anger is problematic, and Kratos wields plenty of new weapons and relics to channel
Nah.
his rage through.
Like the Dropnir ring, which can summon a bunch of wind spears. They can absorb all types of energy and blast it back. He even has relics and magic that can warp space and slow down time.
Ah,
He
dang.
contested with the strongest of the Norse gods, including the god of thunder Thor, who was powerful enough to fight the fire giant Surtur and the world serpent Jormungandr at the same time.
Oh,
Oh, and
okay.
that fire giant would be the cause of actual Ragnarok. You can't defeat me, Thor. I know, but he can.
Well, not exactly. Freyr, the rain god, held off Ragnarok for a considerable time on his own, and the sheer power of Ragnarok shook Yggdrasil down to its very roots.
That's the world tree, which is like a literal tree that connects the whole
So-
universe.
Hold on. They said Freyr, but then they showed Freya. Those are two different gods. That was very strange.
The tree's very existence supports all of creation among its boughs. Every strand transcending time, transcending space. Everything comes back to the tree.
So
Oh, he's
it's
just-
kind of like Kratos lives in a
Straight up.
really big treehouse.
In his
Reading
quest
the
to free the Norse world,
text from the game. Okay. Killed most of the Greek pantheon, climbed out of the underworld after dying, forced Atlas to hold up the universe forever, killed Kronos, who overthrew the creator of the Greek universe, released hope into the Greek and Norse realms, survived being thrown across the planet, Reconciled in this past to become a better god. Defeated Atlas, Hercules, Zeus, Thor, Odin. Fought Shovel Knight to a standstill. Yeah, and Shovel Knight still died to Scrooge McDuck. How do you feel about that?
Kratos reclaimed old weapons by reckoning with his past sins, even taking up the Blade of Olympus once again.
Even better, he actually got to be a decent dad. And now the boy is a man and also a bear.
Kratos
Cool.
made a lifetime of mistakes, but this future would be different. He'd be more than he was in the past. Not just a god of war, but a leader, a father, and a defender. A god of hope.
Awesome. Still got that blinking
His
head.
battles must-
Robin Hood, really?
Month for over
Oh my
And
god,
how it
seriously?
fell
Seriously, oh my god, really? You're appealing to the investment bros? It's serious? Come on. Come on.
from long ago, a demi.
Okay. All official material related to a character. Okay.
God fell
Basically
from
the
the
same
heavens,
thing.
only to rise from the depths of Naraka after 12,000 years.
After 12,000 years, he's free to punch everything dumb enough to get in his way.
Awesome.
The demigod of wrath, Asura.
Alongside 7 other demi.
Okay. Age 12,500, 28 physically. Race demigod, father of Mithra and husband of Durga. Former member of the 8 Guardian Generals. Likes family, Yasha, hot spring QTEs. Yeah. Bounce. Dislikes 7 deities, Chakravartin, hearing his daughter cry. Chosen hero of the universe. Put him in Marvel vs. Capcom. I'll do you one better. Put him in Street Fighter. He said at the true ending, he's reborn as a human, and like so is everyone else. And then there's that meteor. Have it like the meteor assault reawakens his memories of his past life, so he goes on a quest to find out more about who he was in the ancient world. It'd be so cool. And since he's human now, it would be, it'd downgrade his power to a reasonable degree. He would probably seek out Rose or Dulcim or both. It would be really cool. It basically writes itself. I don't know why they haven't done it.
Asura served as defender of humanity against the impure Goma, dark spirit monsters infesting the world.
And the demigods battled the Goma by wielding a mystic energy formed from human prayer, mantra.
By advancing technology with mantra, the Guardian Generals became essentially hyper-powerful mystic cyborgs. They could each
Awesome.
harness mantra through a different emotional affinity. For August, it was greed.
Also, I still don't understand how Olga's supposed to be lust. Sergei is the lustful one. I mean, Olga's in love with Deus, but she's not, like, super horny about it. It boggles my
Yasha
mind.
was melancholy.
I'll give you one chance to guess what Asura's is.
By tapping into his wrath, Asura can take many forms for battle, like the 6-armed Vajra, a state powerful enough to
Awesome.
subdue the embodiment of the planet's will and the source of the Goma, Vlitra.
But he wasn't angry enough to put Goma Vlitra down for good.
Planet
At least not yet.
parasite.
Of course, since he's literally powered by wrath, no enemy of Asura's would be stupid enough to do something that would make him even more mad, right? Right?
Funny you should say that.
God damn it.
First off, Asura is not some one-dimensional anger machine. In myth, the Asuras were powerful and aggressive beings, sure, but not inherently evil, just like Asura himself. He's a warrior.
Also,
but
pay
also
attention
a
to when you can
husband
see
with a
his
daughter,
pupils.
Mithra,
And Mithra has the unique power to supercharge mantra energy.
which gave Asura's prideful commander, Deus, an idea. If he could weaponize Mithra, literally wiring her up to a super weapon, the Guardian Generals could maybe finally end Goma Vlitra for good.
Well, obviously, Asura wasn't gonna go along with that. So Deus framed Asura for killing the Emperor, murdered his wife, kidnapped Mithra, and then just straight up killed him. What
Yeah.
a dick.
But true to his nature,
Dick.
Asura was literally too angry to die. So long as a single part of his body remains and can possess mantra, he can climb back out of Naraka,
Cool.
a sort of limbo underworld between life and death. Thanks to some coaxing from a strange golden spider.
Yes, pay that no mind.
All new purpose in mind.
Make
Oh,
the
see,
gods
now it's playing this.
pay. Oh yeah, they're calling themselves gods now. Turns out they're all assholes who started sacrificing thousands of innocent people to try to power up. So Asura got really, really, really pissed off.
Oh yeah,
Through his rage,
that's what you
Asura's
do.
power exploded, rising enough to throw giants like ragdolls, shatter whole moons, and destroy a fellow deity, Wyzen.
Who could dwarf the planet and wreck it with just a finger. Look at this.
This was the
Asura is
first
so
boss
powerful,
outside the
his soul cannot be
tutorial.
manipulated by the Goma or the deities. He can propel himself with mantra to fly, harden his
Okay. Mantra enhances strength, speed, durability, and stamina. Rapid fire and homing charge projectiles. Energy spirals, waves, explosions. Mantra arm, propelled flight. Mantra of wrath increases Asura's strength the angrier he gets. Resurrection. Now that's going to be interesting. Like, Kratos just climbed back out of the underworld, right? Asura did too, but it took him 12,000 years. People have pointed out that every time he dies, he comes back faster, and by the end, it's like, oh gosh, a couple of hours.
fist to break steel, fire explosive
So it's all in how
energy
you
blasts.
call
He can
that.
headbutt you so hard you wish you could die even faster. The dude literally stockpiles anger into a burst of energy that can one-shot even the toughest of foes.
Wish I could
and
do
when
that.
he goes unlimited mode, he can rapid fire those super attacks.
Make
without
political
overheating.
conferences a heck
Asura's
of a lot more
vengeance quest
interesting.
wasn't all shouting and explosions, though. I mean, it was a lot of that, but he
Yes.
also tried to protect people from the gods.
Oh,
including a
God, they're
girl
gonna
who
show when the
very
girl
much
died.
reminded him of his own daughter.
Yeah, Asura's
She
the
has a
kind of guy who
name,
wants to be
but
a great
even in the
dad,
credits,
but
she's
all he
just
knows
called
how
the
to do is
girl.
punch anything that upsets his kid, like that one dad that knocks out a ref at a little league game.
And then the gods killed that girl too, along with her whole village, sparking Asura to unleash
You know what's
his
interesting?
berserker aura.
You know how
They
the
didn't
gods
even
were
know she
sacrificing
existed.
thousands of people to power up? Well,
They just
Asura
knew
got
Asura
so
was in the
freaking
area.
angry, he built up enough mantra to match them, even though they've been building up energy for thousands of years. Seriously, guys, you're pissing off the guy who literally gets more powerful the angrier he gets. What did you think was gonna happen?
That's what you
Yet
do.
even in berserker mode, Asura never lost total control.
Berserker Asura adds even more extra arms, and they're big and glowy now. The man can launch so much angry mantra, he wiped out the god's whole space fleet in seconds.
Asura's anger raised to levels so high.
Okay. Vajraasura, metallized arms. Six-armed Vajraasura, sixth metallized arms. Berserker Asura, four mantra arms, mantra bolts and beams. Wrath Asura, mantra Asura, supercharged metallized arms. Asura the Destroyer, planet-sized and interstellar
Even he
flight.
couldn't contain it, scorching him into his wrath form.
Even though it hurts Asura while he's in it, this form is still perfect for absolutely shit-stomping a snobby demigod's face in.
Yeah, that was
His brother-in-law
fantastic.
punched the edge out of him.
Yasha saw the error of the deity's senseless sacrifices.
Took him
and teamed
long
up with
enough.
Asura for a coup against Deus.
Awesome, they're bros again. Just in time for Asura to hit his former boss with so much mantra that he burst. Then dive
Awesome.
into the planet's core to obtain power equal to 1,000 arms. His mantra form, finally, a power capable of killing Vlitra in a big planet-busting blast.
Deus was defeated, and Gaia was saved. Yet,
Yeah,
Asura's
saved. Giant
wrath
gash in the
hadn't
side of the
been
planet.
quelled.
Title drop.
It turns out that spider that guided him was actually Chakravartin, the creator of mantra and the entire universe.
Yeah!
Part of his plan to make Asura his heir. Chakra kidnapped Mithra because of course he did, and
Yeah.
invested Asura in the form of a massive golden Buddha statue. Check out the size of it. That thing can literally hold a galaxy in its palm. Naturally, Asura and the statue through hands.
Enter
Of course,
the
of
mantra
course.
reactor.
The Mantra Reactor focuses Asura's affinity with full control, bypassing any detrimental effects such as his wrath form to ascend to far greater
Capable of holding
power.
7 trillion souls, Asura instead used it as a vessel for a far greater power.
His own unfiltered rage.
Awesome.
At last, Asura could show the world his real colors.
Everyone
Yeah.
the 7 deities to Chakravartin saw Asura's anger as a weapon, a sword for tyranny, when that was never who he was. His rage was really a shield to protect humanity, and most of all, his daughter.
A shield larger than a planet! Unbound by his past limits, Asura's ultimate destructor form effortlessly punched through asteroids larger than nebulas, dodged planet-sized lasers moving 2 quadrillion times
God
faster than
damn!
light, and obliterated whole stars!
Chakravartin was under...
Okay, annihilated planets and stars, rescued Mithra after 12,500 years of suffering, shredded through an entire army, through an army of Gamma while without arms, made August draw his sword for the 2nd time ever, defeated Wyzen, August, Deus, Gomavlitra, Yasha, and Chakravartin, and fought Akuma/Oni to a standstill. He also punched Ryu so hard he went flying back to the planet. Because they were fighting on the moon.
And offered Asura a chance to take his place. Asura smiled at the offer and extended his arm.
Right into Chakra's face! As if he was gonna let some god trample over more worlds. Instead, he literally beat the QTEs out of the god, obliterating him and his plans in a cosmic explosion.
But with Chakravartin dead, so was the concept of mantra itself. Those who depended on it could not survive, including Asura.
Hey, as long as Mithra was fine, it was worth it. Besides, he'll reincarnate millions of years later, still kicking ass, ready to smack a random thug, a meteor, or Ryu, right in the balls.
It's interesting. Despite the dangers of uncontrolled anger, Asura's wrath gave him the power to save everything. All because of just one thing.
Some
They made his
bastard
daughter
cry, so they had to pay. Now that's a god I can get behind.
Oh, God. See, there is great value in anger. It can be a powerful motivator. Just, actually, I'm crying. I warned you this would happen. There's great value in anger because if you don't get angry at injustice, you know, you're not motivated to do anything further. You're not doing anything to combat it. And there is so much injustice in the world. We need to get angry. We need to channel that anger into something beneficial. We need to channel it into a better world. Shut up, shut up.
Data through all possibilities.
It's time for a dad battle!
Now, I know there's a shot in the trailer that shows Mithra, so I wonder if she's going to be there to power him up. Oh, gosh. I mean, I am rooting for Asura. I think I've made that pretty clear. Yeah, let's just go ahead. Yeah. Another asshole coming to my door wanting a fight! Oh god, those fucks. What are you doing here? Oh god, Asura's weird running animation.
It's true then. The god of war is on Gaia. But not for long. You do not want this fight.
Lord Ainz, please calm down. So why was he brought there? Tell me that. Because it seems kind of like Mithra brought him there. Is she just like summoning any... Any gods that can be perceived as wicked? Ah, QTs. From what I understand, they animated 9 minutes of this and used 6.
You let your wrath consume you. I have been down that road before. Shut up!
Not to that degree, you haven't. You were at your lowest point when you murdered someone you loved. Asura was at his lowest point when he failed to save someone he loved. Oh, they're not doing the intro screen for this one? Pin him! Oh, that didn't last long. Oh yeah, climb right back out. Although this isn't really to Naraka since he's not dead, but he did lose his arms. Yeah, that's the part from the trailer that showed her. Some of the, yeah, I would like to see the full version of this because some of these jumps are a little fast. Like, how did they get here? What is here?
This is not my end!
See, it's... Oh god, you know how they're framing this? They're framing this... Oh my god. Oh no. He's gonna punch his fist just like he... Oh god, it's a role reversal. Yeah, this didn't go well for you last time. Well, I mean, it went great for you, but you were on Kratos' end. Yeah, we know he can hold up the universe with one hand. Yeah, well, he avoided the shockwave. He avoided the shockwave that, like the kind that he, Oh, damn! Oh, God.
But you deserve a worthy end.
Alright, tell me how this is gonna work. Yeah, we know he's fought huge foes. Is that actually going to be enough, though? I don't know. I don't know God of War very well. Well, it seems he's gone. So tell me what happened.
You are a monster no longer.
He wasn't one.
I never was.
Yeah, exactly. So did he turn to stone? Because he's got the form. Now, how the hell do I get back home? God damn. Shit, dude!
I guess Asura's wrath really is gone. But are we sure this is how it'd go? Even though Asura can blow up stars?
Asura had some
Okay,
amazing
sell me on
displays
it.
of
Sell me.
apocalyptic destruction. But the full scope of their speed, experience, versatility, and power sheds a surprising light.
At first glance, speed seems like a shoo-in for Asura. Kratos is quick, but he never dodged a universe-crossing laser.
That doesn't mean he couldn't. Remember, as
Oh?
usual, we look at these characters at their peak, free from gameplay restrictions.
Yeah, we're looking at everything in canon, and Kratos fought and killed Helios, the sun god.
From the moment he's introduced, Helios
Okay.
is emphasized.
Kratos directly defeated Atlas in combat, who just recently captured Helios, further supporting the notion that Kratos outspeeds Helios. Well, if you
to be
capture
immensely
it, it was
powerful.
already
Without
captured.
Helios, darkness would shroud everything. His light was fast enough to illuminate the entire underworld while Kratos sailed through it, taking a few hours at most.
So, kinda hard to quantify.
If Asura destroyed the planet Kratos was on, he could survive in space. He's shown us his battle with Ares. Event is further substantiated as non-illusory in God of War 2 and its
That's
novelization.
consistent with the shockwaves the primordials caused that spawned the universe.
Arguments could be made for which is faster, the primordial shockwaves or Chakravartin's intergalactic lasers. Since it's so close, it's safest to assume their speeds are generally even.
But what does speed matter if you don't know how to use it? Let's cover experience. Asura lived across centuries, obviously a lot longer than Kratos.
And while Kratos eventually learned to control his rage, Asura pretty much always had that control.
So Asura
Yeah.
easily takes experience. But when it comes to versatility, he couldn't match all the weapons and abilities Kratos had.
Sure, Asura's quite skilled and a monster at martial arts, but his fighting style mostly relies on one thing.
A whole lot of punching.
Yeah.
Kratos' weapons, magic, runes,
Okay, Kratos' time-slowing powers would enable a safer approach, giving an significant edge. Chakravartin's own time manipulation affected Asura, indicating a
Even
vulnerability.
his rage gave him far more options in combat, slowing
Interesting.
down time, healing injuries, and most importantly, multiple weapons that could drain a variety of energies, like Mantra.
Yeah, when us
Okay, in God of War Ascension, Hades and his warriors empower themselves, it's very small on my screen, with souls represented as green orbs. The Blade of Olympus drained Kratos of his green orbs in God of War 2, supporting the notion it can absorb mantra, a similar form of
loses all
spiritual
his mantra energy,
Interesting.
that's it for him. So the Draupnir spears and the Blade of Olympus.
So that's
gave
why he
Kratos
was still
exactly what he needed,
there at the
versatility,
end.
and multiple ways to finish this for good before Asura just comes crawling back out of the underworld.
If he could, Asura's resurrections take years or whole centuries, days at best.
12,000
But all
years.
this assumes Kratos could
Okay, in the manga, Asura's rage is... There's a manga? Is so immense that he's able to survive without his core and outpace Deus' absorption method, regenerating immediately. Kratos' multiple sources of absorption can drain beings stronger than Asura, suggesting Asura would eventually succumb. Keeping his body parts separate is also a viable counter in that continuity, which Kratos should be capable
match
of.
Asura's crazy strength.
Would he know
All
that,
roads
though?
lead to power, which should go to
But
Asura,
although I guess it
right?
didn't
Look at
matter.
what he can do. If this came
Cut
down
his
to
arms
who
off,
made the
but-
bigger kaboom, he'd kick Kratos' ass in 2 seconds.
But a closer examination of their feats reveals the truth.
At his peak, Asura overpowered Chakravartin, annihilating that cosmic golden god.
By measuring the dimensions of Chakravartin's body and scaling it up to match the size of this galaxy-eclipsing statue, we can determine its volume. Add an
Cubic
intensity of gold,
light
for
years.
good measure, assuming the form is solid throughout, and its mass far exceeds not just our galaxy, but our entire observable universe.
Destroying that big golden god would need energy on par with obliterating our universe 91,000 times.
Extremely impressive and unfathomable. However, the same idea applies to Ragnarok shaking the roots of Yggdrasil.
Ragnarok is obviously a bit of a different beast than Kratos.
Yeah.
But what really matters is what Freyr did.
Right, Freyr, a god comparable to Kratos, held back Ragnarok's power for a significant time.
So Kratos should be capable of the same level of power, or even more.
Using an official map and knowing the world tree's branches encompass all of existence, we can measure its
Interesting.
size and volume.
And we know this map is accurate because it shows these 2 realms conjoined, which we see in game.
Even if we assume the tree of
Okay. Throughout the game, Kratos directly interacts with the tree and collects dew from its branches. In Norse myth, Yggdrasil is generally considered an ash tree. However, in God of War Cookbook of the 9 Realms describes it as described it as a yew tree, which is slightly less dense than ash.
the realms is only 1% solid, a significant lowball that Kratos should easily scale above. Shaking such an incomprehensibly large structure would require enough force to destroy our universe's mass energy 9 million times over.
That's almost 100 times greater than Chakravartin's destruction. And this isn't some one-off outlier. I mean, a realm-shattering supergiant doesn't sound too different from the other Titans and Olympians Kratos defeated.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's easy to think that we never see Kratos do anything that matches Asura, but we do. Helios' speed matches Chakravartin, and Kratos outsped him. Atlas is strong enough to lift all of reality, and Kratos overpowered him. Kronos defeated the creator of the universe in a one-on-one fight, same as Asura, and
Here's the mistake so many people make. They make it when trying to battle board Arceus, they make it trying to battle board, like, basically anything. Creation powers do not translate to combat power, okay? It's shaping isn't necessarily energy output. That is a faulty line that so many people make.
Kratos killed Kronos. Add in the clear numerical comparison of Chakravartin, Ragnarok, and Yggdrasil, and Kratos takes the edge in power.
But hey, Capcom, if you give us Asura's Wrath 2, we'll try this again.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Asura's The Sun Rises. The god of wrath was Kratos.
The winner is Kratos.
All right.
But what if...
Oh? Okay, we're getting some more of this. Are they just gonna keep fighting? Is this gonna be a thing from now on? Yeah, but he's just standing there. He's not fighting back. They're gonna send him back to his first wife? Kind of thought he'd have the ash gone. His daughter.
And that concludes my pitch for Asura's Wrath 2. The end. Next time on...
Okay, alright, who we got? Fire, Chains, Ghost Rider again? Yeah, Ghost Rider versus Spawn? Oh my god.
Subscribe and join as a member to see more Death Battle.
Okay.
Thanks for watching.
That will be interesting. I mean, hell, especially considering it was Spawn that defeated Kratos in his original death battle. That'll be interesting, yes. I mean, I guess they kind of sold me under their own logic, but it comes down to the concept of assuming that a creator god must have extreme power on their own. And it's like, no, that's not necessarily true. You have to prove it. Simply being a creator god doesn't mean that you have combat capability. Okay, I'm going to make a really, really, really weird comparison. There's this short story called Those Who Walk Away from Omelas. I think that's the name. Where there's this idyllic town, but it's essentially powered by the suffering of an anonymous child. And that child is effectively the god of that town, right? But it's powered by their suffering. Not, they are inherently powerless despite being the source of all this prosperity. So, and I know they're like part of a system. They're not the full creator. I guess in that situation they would be more like Mithra, but I don't know. It's just an odd comparison to. It made sense in my head when I was saying it. The fight was interesting. I don't know why they decided to reenact the Wyzen battle. That was very strange, although Asura did avoid the shockwave that took down Wyzen. Got his arms ripped off multiple times, I think. The setup was really weird. It was really weird. It's like Asura shows up, disappears, and then suddenly Kratos is drawn to Gaia, even though Gaia is Earth in the primordial past. I don't know. Pardon. I've been drinking carbonated water this whole fight. Some of the staging was really strange. I would like to see the full version. It was probably less full of jump cuts because there's like, okay, suddenly they're fighting on a rock in space. Why are they fighting on a rock in space? Why did they get there? What is the temple? Why are there the little goblin baby things there? I don't remember what they were called. The messenger dudes. Those worked for days. It's a kind of a confusing fight, honestly. And, like I said, I'm okay with Kratos winning, even though I was cheering for Asura. I feel like no matter who won, they would have based it on the notion that a creator god is inherently everything. You know what I mean? Chakravartin demonstrates that, like, directly. But even then, obviously he's not all powerful. Also, I never understood in Asura's Wrath how they managed to get, like, trillions of souls. There have never been a trillion people on our planet, and our planet is very overpopulated. Gaia is not. There are sparse communities of like 100 people, and that's it. Where are these trillions of souls coming from? You'd think they would be encouraging, mass breeding in huge cities just to get more of this. But that's a complaint with the original game. It doesn't match what they're showing us or what they're telling us, Next time should be pretty hardcore. Both of these combatants have been on Death Battle before. They both won Death Battle before. Yeah, I think this will be an interesting fight. Something they did for this one that I really liked is when they did the final trailer, they showed us the voice actors. that I thought was really, really, really cool. That was they really need to do that more often. I know they show them yeah, true alternating Asura. Hold up, family barbecue. Kratos, family barbecue. Mithra and Atreus playing Go Fish while everything's happening. For the OGs, isn't it ironic that Spawn gets an episode immediately after Kratos? Yeah. The calmest father versus the most reasonable father. Kratos finally returns to Death Battle. Last time he appeared, I was in elementary school, and now I'm in college. Ah, golly. There's no bad ending for Asura. If he wins, he gets an underdog victory. If he loses, he can climb out of Naraka for a rematch. That alt ending is genius, because how dare you not want that for Kratos? Well, I think part of his story is that he's learning to live, you know? Like, eventually he'll die, but, you know, he's learning from Faye. He learned, you know, to be a better person, to be present in the world and not, you know, just to enjoy his life as it goes. So, you know, he'll get there eventually. Give him time. Alright, so I have some things to do today, so I will be heading out. Also, it kind of says something that this is only the second best dad battle of this season. Behold the king. Alright, until next time, I'm Blackjack Gabbiani, and I, again, wish to reiterate, anger can be a powerful tool for good. Use it. Use it. Use it for justice. Use it to protect. Use it to make the world a better place.